Hi everyone, back with more Genshin. I'm gonna be continuing on the Arcturus today, so for that, let me just finish off ideas. There, you big, yes. Big, that's not.
May not preserve peace unscathed. Be sanctified. Wretched prisoner.
Defensive mode.
Let the mighty be humble. Bow your head. This world shall perish, and its ashes will fall like rain!
Adaptive Frost! A little loose.
Settle down. The tides beckon. The embers burn on.
Adaptive Frost! Ultimatum protocol.
Be sanctified. Before the final blade! I see the temple
Wait, no, what?
of eons past.
Oh, come on.
Come, join me in the eternal night. I can release you from your suffering.
Oh, that's just me. Stop running around.
Bow your head.
Alright. Also, I completely forgot that it's a new week, so try. Curatorium or Secrets Intel stuff. Yes, that's what I was trying to remember. Oh, what? I got locked out? Hang on. Okay, so I remember the last one I was doing was down here, so I'm just gonna continue making my way in the correct in my remembered order. While the Rocky Experimental Design Bureau responsible for improvement seems to have limited clearance, not much seems to can be extracted. It seems to receive missions directly from the Saritsa or Shnestaya.
You're not going anywhere.
Cool.
Either way, I'd be happy to oblige.
Uh, and is this person? Okay, it appears only at night. Come on. Want to hear a secret? It won't come cheap. So if you'd rather hear about how I battled Sea Serpent, well, I'll tell you that story for free. What secret? I could tell you, but well, rules are rules. You ought to show a little goodwill so I know you're legit. I'll cut to the chase. No haggling. 200,000 per piece of intel. That's too steep for me. How would I know that if it was the intel I needed? Ah, the price is right. If you're not willing to pay, it just means the secret isn't meant for you. Ha, I see through your rules. You're trying to trick me to reveal my intel for free. No more and no secret. I'll take the story, please. Beneath the rolling waves of the boundless forsaken sea, there lurked the mighty beast. A colossal sea serpent that even Krat, though troubled, was unable to best. Those days, youth was still mine to own, and I was famed throughout my homeland for my strength and valor. Slaying the serpent was an easy task. Ah, I can still remember the warmth of his blood washing down my face, like wine at a victory feast. From that day forward, I gained the ability to understand the whispering of animals. I won't lie, much of my intel comes from their words only I can comprehend. Are you trying to trick me? Of course not. Do you take me from one of those frostmoon schemers? Okay.
You're my target.
Self-proclaimed information broker, in truth a boastful swindler. His vision is perfectly fine, those sunglasses are just for
How
us.
is he even still alive?
Afraid of water. Okay, there we go.
It all adds up.
Student of the Schneider Royal Military Academy. Currently skipping classes under the pretense of medical. Currently compiling a set of outcry
Smash and grab.
power rankings, which are entirely non-credible.
Snezhnaya, huh? I wonder what their schools are actually like. They must provide free meals, right? Wait, does the academia provide free meals? I'll have to ask Boss Neff when I get back.
You're my target.
Mr.
Last
Merchant
time
guards
this
his
guy
office.
came over to the curatorium, he asked us to find him a secret shortcut between Nodcry and Snezhnaya. Yeah, right. Like, we'd ever shared that
better
kind of
get me some
intel with
alpacas.
him.
Once they've hauled everything over to Snezhnaya, take a little extra by selling their wool.
Guards his welfare as with life itself, setting personality aside, his significant business acumen. Can something that can't be traded truly be called wealth? Damn, math getting right there. Oh, come on, man. Dang it, I really not. Seriously.
No more lies.
Viljami. Now that's a man who's lost it all. Pity that pile of cold ashes still hasn't flared back up again.
Former big shot merchant who engaged in smuggling seems to have shed all former ambition. As for whether he speaks true, there remains to be seen. I don't remember coming here. Yeah, I don't remember coming here. Oh, you know. Yeah, I've been here before. Lady Nefer, what brings you here? All out chips, I'm afraid I can't join you for a hand. Either SMA you're still a skilled player, aren't you? I'm sorry, Lady Nefer, but I no longer yearn for the things I once desired. All I seek is a quiet life to enjoy the things I have. Very well, I too hope you can find true peace, Mr. Viljami. I'm sure I will. No, I'm sure we will all find true peace someday. Okay. Some of them do have unique dialogue. That sucks. Say, hold up, about the shortcut I asked you to look for the last time. Do we have any news yet? No, not yet. This is quite a complicated problem and it will take some time, I'm afraid. How could I possibly share such intel with you? I have cashed in on it on my own a long time ago. Wait, no, that's not right. I have cashed in with Boss Nev and Ashru, obviously. It's alright, I understand. Please, you must find it. I'm counting on you. Once you find that path, I'll make a huge profit for sure.
You're not going anywhere.
Former member of the Adventurers Guild, Treasure Hunter has a record of misconduct, too high but limited capability.
Can't hide the truth.
Gaudenti. Capable enough, but not exactly the brightest candle in the box. I doubt he has the nerve to stick his neck out.
Lady Nefer, looks like you've come into some money lately. Have you been picking up commissions? Yes, but how did you know? Well, my little birds told me just a thing or two. Back home, we say the moon doesn't stay hidden behind the clouds forever. Wouldn't you agree? Oh, well, you know, the Lady Nefer, I... No need to stiffen up, Mr. Gaudenti. You've seen through those commissions well enough, and that was quite satisfactory in my books. Wait, were those commissions? Each of us has our own strengths. Learn how to use yours and you won't go hungry. Goodbye, Mr. Gaudenti. I wish you all the best. Okay, I can't. Sorry, wait, let me go back to the guy in the bar and see if there's any additional lines of dialogue. I will do the trial runs and then... Alright, Linnea's level 10. I forgot about her. I'm trying to put my brain together. Oh, there's more witches homework. Now I can only do runes. Why are you beeping at me? Oh, is that why?
If you're here to sign up for the
I forgot. There's like a whole bunch of things I wanted to do and I forgot. It's all falls to emptiness. Wow, I really dig a catalog of every single website. Why? That's so weird. Alright, Miliastra. Let me do Serenity Port first, talk to Linnea, then I'll go to Miliastra. Gosh, there's so much things to do.
So this is where you usually stay? It's so spacious. This is making me jealous. If only I could use the abode arts of the Liyue Adepti on the Golden Beagle.
How do you like it here?
It's great! I don't have to worry about the wind or rain or where my next meal is coming from. And the scenery is amazing. Thanks for inviting me.
I'm glad you like it.
You're so nice. Can I ask a teeny tiny favor though?
Ask away.
Is it okay if I set up camp here? I'll find a spot that's out of the way.
Huh? So you don't like your room?
No, it's lovely. Everything's so comfy and cozy. The bed's warm and dry, and it smells nice too. It's so much nicer than the rooms at the flagship, I'll tell you that. It's just, well, they say it's easy to go from rags to riches, but much harder to go back again. If I get used to this life, I'm worried I won't be able to return to living off the land. What if I find myself dreaming about this fluffy bed while I'm deep in the mountains? I'm not sure I could cope! For someone like me, I think it's best to maintain a healthy hunger for the finer things in life. That way, I can make sure my senses are sharp while never losing the drive and excitement to pursue what I want. For me, that's the crux of living.
I see. So that's your survival strategy.
Indeed. So if it's alright with you, I'd like to set up my own camp somewhere out of the way. Out of interest, have you ever stopped to listen to the music of the night? The nighttime wilds are far from silent, and thickets that appear like shadows are actually hives of nocturnal activity. Some insects only sing when moonlight bathes the stage, chirping and chiming one after another, as if following some mysterious tune. Listening to them sing is fascinating. If that sounds like something you'd like to hear, feel free to drop by my camp sometime. Or we can just lie there and gaze at the stars. That would be nice too. So this is where you usually... If only I could use the...
You have time for a chat?
Sure! Found anything interesting on your recent adventures?
I found some more treasure chests.
Oh, that's wonderful! For us adventurers, there's no better way to pay the bills than finding a chest or two. Take me. If I relied solely on my income as a consultant for the Adventurers Guild, who knows how long it would take to save up for my own research vessel. However, I have to be careful when opening chests to make sure Lumi doesn't swallow whatever's inside. I really don't know where she picked up this habit of swallowing every shiny thing she sees. Though, come to think of it, there is a legend about crystal beetles that says they started carrying solid phlogiston around as a way to make themselves stand out. So, maybe the reason Lumi swallows shiny things isn't because she's hungry. but rather because she's collecting decorations, hoping to wear them one day and be accepted by the other Jack Frost. I'll make sure to feed her more next time. It's just a few chunks of ore after all. As long as I keep finding more chests, I can always replace them later. So this is where... If only I could use...
Okay, let's see the option.
Sure. Found anything interesting on your recent adventures?
I explored some more ruins.
Ruins that rarely see visitors tend to develop their own unique ecosystems. They're truly fascinating places. That said, the traps and monsters inside aren't quite so charming. Things like primal constructs and secret source automatons aren't much of an issue, but... Clockwork Mecha... Ugh. Just thinking about them sends shivers down my spine. The Fontaine Research Institute is such a terrifying place. To think they created so many of those things, all with their own different functions. But I must admit, the dance of Coppelia and Coppelius is truly captivating. Like watching a performance on the stage. Though I made sure to enjoy it from a distance.
So you prefer the Icewind Suite or Knuckle Duckle?
Knuckle Duckle, of course. It's so much cuter and can even handle basic conversations. Besides, if pressed, I'd say it's not entirely without its practical applications. But most importantly, I know invented it. What are you laughing at? So what if I'm biased towards my friends?
Actually, that raises a question for me. There's something that I know is
So this
better
is
than
where-
the
if only
Fontaine
I
Institute
could
because she can make speaking robots. Is there anything you like to do?
If you don't mind, I'd quite like to record my discoveries here in my encyclopedia. When I was chatting with Tubby earlier, she even gave me a feather.
Well, Tubby's okay with it.
Oh, don't worry, I already asked. I always make sure to get permission as long as the subject is someone I can talk to.
And what if they're not?
Well, in that case, I guess I'd figure it out on the fly. Come to think of it, the times I tracked that Rishbillin tiger and those waterbirds in Sumeru were really dangerous. Rishbillin tigers are highly territorial, so I set up camp some distance away from its den to allow for easier observation. Apparently, the fur on a Rishbillin tiger's temples allows it to measure distances. I wanted to verify this claim. But unfortunately, I got a little too close. Racing a Rishbillin tiger through the jungle really isn't something I'd recommend. If it weren't for a passing forest ranger coming to my rescue, I might not have made it out alive. But thanks to that experience, I also learned about a special rainforest fungus whose spores are the bane of the Rishbillin tiger. And with that, another page was added to my encyclopedia. So I guess you could call it a blessing in disguise.
I guess, but how chasing after waterbirds land you in danger?
Well, it wasn't the water birds themselves that were dangerous, but rather the environment they live in. Lumi and I were in a small boat watching them build nests in their wetland habitat. They would pick up floating twigs and branches to use as nesting material. But clearly, besides us, there were other animals that had figured out their nesting habits. Those floating branches were actually traps. These other animals would wait for the water birds to wade out and pick them up.
Oh, so there was spinal crocodiles. I shouldn't be surprised.
Exactly! A huge spinal crocodile suddenly leaped out of the water and the waves it created almost capsized our boat! That noise alerted other spinal crocodiles nearby, and somehow they ended up deciding that Lumi and I would make even better prey. Luckily, they're not as agile on land as they are in water. Once we made it to dry ground, they stopped chasing us. So, if you're ever planning on going bird watching in the wetlands, watch out for the dangers in the water, too.
That's certainly a valuable lesson.
Right? I don't want to toot my own horn, but my lectures for fresh-faced adventurers are really quite popular.
Have you considered turning them into picture books?
Those little educational picture books for kids? I've never considered that before. But it's not a bad idea. The children in the Conch Gang can't get enough of my stories. Maybe I have a special talent. Besides, if I can get published, the royalties would go a long way. Yeah! There's no time to lose! Let's get started right away! So this is where... If only I could...
don't know if there's another
If
option,
you
but
don't
I
mind,
just
when I was chatting with Tubby earlier... Oh, don't worry, I already asked. What come to
This is
think,
a
Bristol and
super long time,
apparently racing over even worked for a... But thanks to that and with that, another page... Well, Lumi and I were in a... But clearly, those floating branches were actually... Exactly. That noise... Luckily, so if you're ever planning on going... Right? I don't want to toot those little... but it's not a bad idea. The children in the Conch Gang can't get enough of my story. Besides, if I can get published, the royalties would... Yeah!
Okay, maybe we can go on the bottom here. Bye bye. I don't think I know how to do all this. Wait, I can do that? Oh shit. One, two, stop. gosh. Well, they fine. Three. Oh, G10. Holy shit, fucking snow. Damn, that didn't count. I like how the starting screens like the take as well. It's oh, there's a shortcut. That's cool. Only I can figure out how to do this from. Controls, controller, crane.
Leave none stay. Bet you weren't ready for this. Like lambs to the slaughter. Now's our kill. Decay! New life! Tremble! I won't see it. Final warning! Let's keep going! Ha! I'm going in! The story has only just begun! Strong all you want! Yeah. Bet you weren't ready for this! Yeah. Now's our chance! Providing cover fire! Leave the wound!
Teamwork is dreamwork! Huh?
Watch out! Decay! New life! Let's fight! No fairy tale ending for you. Bet you weren't ready for this!
Rev the engines! How about this? You take a seat.
Go! You're free now! Not too far now. Oh, so sorry. Dodge this!
Stars, shine for me.
Full throttle! Light up the blazing sun!
Deja vu I could have done without.
Like defense. Oh.
You must be the ones tasked by the Academia with renovating Aaru?
That's right. Good afternoon. I'm Kaveh, and these two are Termezi and Naisaburi. Hey, I'll hate them. Come and introduce yourself.
We've met before. This is Thoth, the Ibis King, and everyone knows these two. Afternoon, gentlemen.
I've only ever seen these two in murals.
Ah, the paintings in the temple. They show us chatting, playing cards, playing chess. Precisely the activities we most enjoy, funnily enough.
No, only you enjoy playing chess. We were just humoring you.
I wouldn't go that far.
Back to the matter at hand. A preliminary assessment by the Academia indicates that this project requires expertise in various disciplines, including the deciphering of ancient texts, mechanical engineering, the restoration of ancient ruins, and elemental theory. The most capable minds in their respective fields are here before you. If there are no objections, we'd like to begin our work.
The artisans who built Aaru for Al-Ahmar gave their very lives to create this splendid work. Follow their example by giving your utmost devotion to this project.
I didn't know that. We'll do our best, of course, but we certainly won't be sacrificing our lives.
Such brazen words. Humans these days are a far cry from their ancestors. What little respect you show for King Deshret.
No, that's not what he meant. Please, don't mind him. He shares your sentiments, just not your, penchant for hyperbole. Assuming that's what you were going for?
I just think it's important to manage expectations.
Forgive my lack of courtesy, but we simply can't sacrifice our lives to the gods on completion of the project like people in the legends of old. Here's a first draft of the project proposal for your perusal. Please let us know if you have any requests. Normally, I'd have made it look a lot more visually appealing, but we were really pressed for time on this occasion. I hope you'll forgive me if it's a little rough around the edges.
Naturally.
If my fellow ministers deem this meager display of respect sufficient, I suppose I can consider agreeing to their proposal.
Why are you so preoccupied with the ostentatious displays of respect to Al-Ahmar? We should be trying to make things easy for them. You never know. We might have to rely on these young people to look after us in our old age.
Exactly. This is Aaru's mainframe. Be reminded to use it with great caution.
We certainly will. Thank you for your assistance.
You may attempt to lay out punishment should you so desire, though I'm afraid it would be futile. You and I both know that certain components of Aaru can only be operated by humans. King Deshret always believed in humanity. Still, the reason that Aaru's modules are designed that way is not so much because he trusted them, but more because he was wary of you.
Is that true? No wonder human artisans helped to build Aaru then. He actually required human assistance to create his greatest work.
Naturally.
Have you noticed that the Goat King keeps giving superficial responses? It's like he's just going through the motions and leaving the real debate to his colleagues.
He understands the art of perfunctory speech. That's what earned him his position as the Minister of Ministers. It seems the rumors about King Deshret being a poor judge of character are baseless after all.
Excuse me for being blunt, but it sounds suspiciously like you're putting yourself on a pedestal and mocking me.
You're mistaken. And while there's nothing strictly wrong with making every conversation about yourself, it's not exactly a positive tendency either.
You? Whatever. I knew it'd be like this working with you. All right, let me past. I need to look at this console.
It's your job to activate it after all. Let's begin. Everyone, please proceed with the external checks and preparations as per the procedures outlined in the engineering plan.
Hello there, youngsters.
Whoa, the Ibis King came to life.
What do you mean, came to life? I've been alive the whole time.
You did say we could start our research, right? Are you having second thoughts now?
I've reviewed the proposal. The work you're planning to carry out on this grand device is ambitious in its scope. You have ample confidence in your abilities, I take it?
I wouldn't say I'm feeling hugely confident, but given how bad things are, I'd rather at least try something than sit around waiting to die.
You are the top scholars of your day. I trust you are aware that there are countless links between Aaru and the Akasha?
Aaru and the Akasha? But I thought the Akasha was the Academia's greatest technological accomplishment, created years ago by the Dendro Archon to help her people access knowledge.
And you too? Do you not know either?
You've read the instruction manual, right? You tell them.
An instruction manual? The Akasha has an instruction manual? The Dendro Archon is a kind and thoughtful god indeed.
It used to sit on a shelf in the corner at the House of Dana. Not the most popular read. If the manual is to be believed, Aaru was in fact the original inspiration for the Akasha system.
What? But there are so few records about Aaru anywhere. And practically none of the scientific expeditions into the desert had anything to do with it.
Ah, but this is something you could not possibly have known. You may have heard many stories about the desert, but what is the most important aspect of history? Consider this a quiz. Anyone from Vahumana present?
I'm from Vahumana. It's, well, veracity.
Precisely. And a large part of veracity is the chronological order in which events occur. I may as well tell you. In the beginning, Nabu Malikata, the goddess of flowers, descended upon Sumeru. The glory of the heaven was within her. She brought life, oases, and knowledge to this land. Then she created the Jinn, enlightened them, and ordered them to serve her. Two other gods also walked upon this land where wisdom flowed in abundance, and the three met beneath the great green trees. It was the first and greatest alliance. We should speak with reverence of this covenant between the three, which transcended both time and life. For they promised that in Sumeru, wisdom would be shared with all. All the great changes in Sumeru's history began with the goddess of flowers. For King Deshret's sake, she pried into the secrets of Celestia, and for this was burned to ashes by the flames of wrath. So grieved was King Deshret by her passing that he lost all interest in state affairs and devoted himself instead to the knowledge that she had brought back. It was after learning of the technology from that floating island in the sky that he first conceived of Aaru. And so, the Akasha was inspired by Aaru, while the basis for Aaru itself came from Celestia's technology.
Well, if the two share a common technological origin, then connecting one system to the other is an entirely feasible idea.
Unbelievable. Have you no reverence at all for celestial technology?
No, I do, but there's no time for that. The schedule is too tight. Blame it on the deadline.
Perhaps you could try coming up with our cutoff dates.
You know what it's like having to turn around 5 different drafts in one day? I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
Yeah, also, Sir Ibis, King, you don't plan on getting directly involved at all, do you?
Yes, well, you strike us more as having come to give a popular science lecture. Or, wait, does this count as more of a first-hand witness statement?
Neither. Anyway, this sounds like far too much work for me.
Still, if Aaru is so powerful, why didn't King Deshret use it for more ambitious ends?
Because it was never fully completed. King Deshret had grand plans, but he perished before they could come to fruition. In the beginning, his wish was to create something that could rival the very world itself. The Lord of Flowers sacrificed everything for that ambition. What he desired, she bestowed, and thus was knowledge brought into the world. Her courage and sacrifice had to be honored with the most splendid of monuments, or King Deshret would surely have deemed it a grave injustice. And that monument, built from knowledge and technology, etched with a sacrificial and courageous love, even in its unfinished form, it deserves to be treasured. At that time, King Deshret said the following to the Lord of Dendro. Since we share an eternal covenant, I shall never be your enemy. Hence, the fruit of wisdom from the heavens is not to be devoured. Remember, it is not that I lack the power to become the enemy of wisdom. Yet you and she have taught me much and shown me kindness. For this, I cherish you both. In the end, Aaru was only used to store a portion of the souls. It was but a primitive form of the masterwork the king had envisaged. His final hope for Aaru was to return to the past, when she yet lived.
So the point you're making is, King Deshret was both powerful and ambitious, and he only ceased his imperious ways out of affection for the Goddess of Flowers and the Dendro Archon. You could see this as an act of mercy, but you could also see it as the sentiments that lay between these three gods placing constraints on him. This was, after all, the foundation of the alliance between them.
This explains why Aaru was both a prison and a monument, and why the answer to the 3 questions was time.
You have to be careful who you get involved with, or you invite all manner of misfortune. This is as true for gods as it is for humans. Love is the same. It is both a prison and a monument. All right, let us pause the story here for now. Seeing as you've been so diligent, I'll offer a little help. Who's in charge again? Is it you two?
Ah, yes, me and him.
Now then, close your eyes. Wisdom hides in the space between the tangible and the intangible. It is to convey the incommunicable through the simplest of mediums. By the power of King Deshret, I shall grant you a glimpse into the unseen secrets that lie at the threshold of existence.
Where did this come from? Is it a new mechanism?
It looks more like some form of externalized information. You've rendered it visible?
Just as the Akasha allows you to access a greater range of knowledge, the power of our king permits one to perceive ingenuities that do not belong to this world. This is no ordinary mechanism. It reflects the internal structure of Aaru. Whether you choose to increase or decrease, keep or discard. Come, use these to achieve the outcome you desire.
Looks mechanical to me. Better let me handle it, just in case. But wait, how do I get up there?
Turn around.
So that's where the elevator is.
Still glitching out. That does not bode well.
Obelisks were used to record important information in the ancient desert civilization. Hey, Alhaitham, there's some writing here I'll need you to decipher. I've sent it to your screen. Do you see it?
Got it. It's a little blurry, but I should manage.
Take a look and tell me what it says. Oh, and I'll send any other similar text directly to you from now on.
Let's start with this one. It's a variant of an older script. Here in live verses written for the Yellow Sands. Looks like cultural information from the age of King Deshret.
If so, I suggest you delete it.
Words thrown together merely for fun. I had no idea Aaru kept a record of this.
Well, as long as you're certain that this is strictly private information, that's fine.
It is unimportant.
All right, well, I guess I'll start now. Found some more. Sending them over to you now.
These are all reports about the Gurubad conflict.
Can we delete them?
I'd say so. Most of this information has already been archived anyway.
What if there are details in there that Vahumana missed?
Yeah, sorry about that. For some reason, my internet dropped down. Anyway.
What if there are details in there that Vahumana missed? What are we supposed to do if they come after us in the future?
They'll just have to live with it. If we don't resolve these issues now, there won't even be an academia in the future, let alone a Vahumana Darshan.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, done. There's some other similar monuments nearby. I'll check them out.
He's that one.
Another monument.
Hold on.
You're still reading it? How long is it?
It records the development and governance of the Oasis civilization. Most of it concerns the Jinn, but it also contains records left by the artisans who built Aaru.
Is it important?
Some of it. There was no way for me to read the whole thing in its entirety, so I had to rely on my intuition to pick the parts worth keeping.
What about the artisans' records? What do they mention?
They're speculations, mostly. For instance, they were wondering how to protect themselves if King Deshret decided to silence them after the construction of Aaru was complete.
Sounds like pure mythology to me. Surely that kind of thing didn't really happen.
The records do emphasize that this was merely their conjecture based on various myths. Still, the artisans did leave details of their plans to survive, including blueprints for their escape route.
Even that got recorded? Okay, well, I'll make a copy of this first before I delete it.
Is that truly necessary? You won't be needing those.
No, the blueprints are important. I want to keep them as a memento. I think that should just about do it.
It meets the requirements of the contingency plans, so we should be good.
I gotta say, it's the strangest feeling, this cross between reality and the intangible. It's like drifting between life and death, or in and out of a dream, using my own hands to manipulate illusions that are forever out of reach.
Chasing dreams in the most literal sense. Definitely a novel experience.
What happens if my spirit just floats away?
That won't happen. Anyway, I wouldn't celebrate just yet if I were you. There's likely to be a phase 2 of this project.
All right. I'd better keep my wits about me then.
I expected that the outside world no longer respected the ancient gods, but even so, I do find the tone of these youngsters to be dreadfully impolite.
It should hardly come as a surprise to you. I remember you saying the same thing last time.
I assumed that was just a one-off. I did not realize it was the norm.
Don't you think that young lad's matter-of-fact tone sounds familiar? It bears a rather uncanny resemblance to you, Goatee.
Surely a sign that he is a man of rare intelligence.
Oh. The rest of them, though, much better. The blonde-haired one, for instance. So sincere. That's the kind of kid I can respect.
Oh, really? Well, what about your disciple, Nefer? She's about the furthest from sincerity that a person can get.
Ah, and now you hit the crux of the issue. Thoth is spouting lies again. He cares nothing for sincerity. He likes Nefer simply because her personality is just like his. Thus, in giving his approval to Nefer, Thoth is simply validating himself. The rest is but smoke and mirrors.
You have some nerve saying that. There really is no helping you two.
Shut up, chess rookie.
What nonsense is this? How dare you tell me to shut up?
How can you engage in such banal chitter-chatter at a time like this? Aaru has been opened. The glory and splendor of a bygone age is about to sweep over the earth like a flood. And you're here squabbling like petulant children. All three of you are insufferable. King Deshret was merciful, indeed. giving you a chance to be released from prison. I say, you should have been locked up for good.
Ah, but Bennu, look on the bright side. Had they not been released, we would not have been awoken.
Oh. You've been here this whole time. You should be scolding them along with me.
I miss Hermanubis. It's not a real reunion without him here.
And now you're avoiding the topic and talking to yourself. Why King Deshret designed your personality like this, I will never understand.
Isn't this simply proof that our king supports my free will?
Oh, look at those two rust buckets. Suddenly, you two do not seem so bad after all.
Here, here. If being stuck together for thousands of years fosters no friendship, I cannot say what would.
Naturally.
Okay, I'm actually gonna pause here because everything took much longer than expected. Yeah. So, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you all next time. I hope you're gonna hear a lot more stuff. Bye.